Hello, it's Chris from My Stamp Lady. I'm here with this fun special someone card. It can be found right now in our mini catalog. It's the January through June mini catalog and it is on page 36. If you don't have a demonstrator, be sure to contact me if you're interested in one. I'm also going to be using the coordinating special day dies. These are a special purchase right now through the end of March, and they cut out the animals, the balloons, and a few of the other accessories. They're so fun together, and I hate fussy cutting, so these were perfect for me. So to start this card off, I am using a piece of the Brights Designer Series paper. It's the Melon Mambo, and it's cut to the exact size of the card front, 4¼ by 5½ inches. So I am covering the front of a half a sheet of the thick Whisper White. I will have all of my measurements on my blog, mystamplady.com, and all the supplies listed below also. So here's my card base. I have a nice front cover with a white inside. So we're moving on to the stamping. I'm pulling in my Stampin' Pierce pad because this is a photopolymer stamp set, and you get a little bit of a better image if you stamp onto a soft surface like this. Inking up the raccoon with tuxedo black ink, and I'm stamping him right, or her, right on the front on the main piece of Whisper White cardstock. This stamp set is designed to have pieces that layer to give you some extra coloring. So this is the color part of the raccoon, and I've got soft suede ink, stamped it off. I made sure I had some good coverage on my stamp because there's a lot of solid surface there, and now I have a soft suede raccoon. We will be doing the squirrel next with Cajun Craze ink. So I have the outside of this, the main part of the squirrel inked up in Cajun Craze full strength. I'm pulling in that coloring, inking it up well, making sure I have some good coverage, and this time I'm stamping it off twice. I want even a lighter color, and then I will stamp it over the first stamping. And now I have a colored in squirrel. So this is a nice thing with this. You don't have to color these individually. They have the stamps that work together. There's also the die, and I'm going to go run and cut this out with the coordinating die. I've already stamped 3 balloons. I have Melon Mambo, Coastal Cabana, Daffodil Delight, and those are my balloons that I've stamped. So now I am stamping right onto the raccoon. I'm going to stamp the balloon string, inking that up with tuxedo black ink, just going right over so it looks like the raccoon is holding all 3 of those balloons. I'm adjusting my image just a little bit so that they're not right on top of each other. And then with my garden green, I have the flower image, and I'm just coloring up the stem. I want to have the stem to reverse, so I'm going to stamp it first of all in one direction with my marker. And then I'm going to ink it up again. I'm just coloring over the stem part, leaving that flower part be, and I flipped it over, and this way I get to put my stem the other direction. I decided to use the bullet side of the marker to make it a little bit darker and to add a little bit of grass on the bottom. So then when I get done with there, I'm going to pull in the solid flower, and I'm going to use Daffodil Delight ink to stamp that flower. I do stamp it multiple times, twisting it a little bit. That gives me a little bit of depth. It gives me a little bit fuller flower. So I do that above both of my stamped stems. And now so we're kind of building a scene. We're just building up a little scene here with the flowers and the balloons and the animals. And because my raccoon was die cut, I can put that so that he's kind of hanging over. Added my balloons right on top of the strings. So we're doing a little bit of assembly here. This is super cute. These little animals, they're so cute. And I'm backing that with a piece of Daffodil Delight cardstock. It's my little mat, and that way I can get it to pop out a little bit on front of that designer or that decorator paper. Okay, we're going to add a couple of butterflies. There is a full butterfly, and then there's a butterfly that has just kind of like a half butterfly. So I've swapped out my images and I've stamped those butterflies with a little bit of the Daffodil Delight ink. I am going to color in those butterflies. These cute little animals come with a variety of sayings, so you can use this stamp set for get well, happy birthday, thank you, just even a special occasion. There's a lot of variety in with this stamp set. So let's pop this right onto the card front. I decided to make this card a happy birthday card, so I will be cutting out that sentiment or punching it out with the classic label punch. I've added the little raccoon here. He's overhanging the left side there a little bit. So I think these animals just ask for bright colors, although you could certainly do them in other colors. So I have the Melon Mambo for my birthday. I will be stamping that onto this Whisper White cardstock. And then it's nice that you can just go in and add that punched out image wherever you want to add a sentiment to this. And I'm going to add it into the upper left corner. Okay, so we've got the happy birthday that does fit right into this little label punch. If you don't like the little edges that are pointed, you certainly could just trim those off too. So that provides you with a few additional options there. I do want to give these guys a little more ground to stand on. So I am going to use an aqua painter with some of my garden green ink. And we will just color a little bit of ground in underneath the animals, under the flowers. It helps to add just a little bit of ground so that they look like they're standing on something. I'm also adding a little additional ground under the flowers. I've pressed a little bit of the ink from the ink pad into the top of the ink pad, and then I'm just using the aqua painter to pick that up and color. Then when you're done, you can just brush your aqua painter off on scrap paper till the brush is running clean. I'm going to add a little bit of bling, and I'm using the holiday rhinestone jewels for this. The jewels were a carryover from the holiday catalog. You can still find them in my online store. You can also find the coordinating dies for this special Someone stamp set on my online store, and I've listed the numbers here and you can find them below. So if you'd like to see more ideas like this, be sure to subscribe to my channel and to ring that bell so that you get notifications when I put up a new video. And thank you so much for watching.